the fire started 4:30 Saturday morning,
So everybody was asleep. Because, I mean, like he just said, it was at 4:30 in the morning when our 2-year-old woke us up and alerted us of the fire. So everybody was asleep. And, I mean, it was a crazy start to the day, for sure. His name is Brandon. And I got woken up, like I heard him coughing, like at the end of our bed. And he was just sitting there coughing, and he said, "Mama, hot, Mama, hot." So, he's done that before where he's woken us up saying he was hot, and, he just wanted his pajamas off because he was hot or whatever. So I thought maybe that was the case. And whenever I sat up and I grabbed my phone to use the flashlight so that I could see where I was walking, and I turned towards him, and I just saw the flames coming out of the living room door, or out of the living room into our bedroom. So I woke up my husband and almost knocked him off the bed.
Yep, my back still hurts.
Yeah. So I'm sure he has a bruise or something. So I woke him up, and he went to look. I mean, he's a firefighter, so he's...
So she woke me up, and my first initial thought was, she's screaming, fire, 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 and my initial thought was, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go to work. I mean, I turned and I looked at the door, and I was like, oh my God, like my heart just dropped. Like, I'm like, oh no. So I run to the living room door, and my initial response was, okay, I'm going to, go put this thing out. But I got to the door, and I glanced around the door frame, and the flames were 6 foot tall. I mean, they're higher than our door frame. So I turned to her and said, we have to get out. This house is, in my head, I already knew this house is gone. We have to get out. Right now, the most important thing is for us to get out. So I grabbed my 2-year-old and started getting the other kids out of the house. I mean, about 30 seconds after my son woke us up, we were out of the house. About maybe a minute after we got out of the house, our front door had flames coming out of it. So, it was really intense. Once I got outside the house, I grabbed a tool off our porch and went and turned off, our gas, our service line going into the house. So I was thinking, hopefully, if the department does, the fire department gets there pretty quick, hopefully nobody will get hurt, by an explosion or anything. I mean, I've been on Al Board's department for 5 or 6 years, and I mean, sadly, this is nothing new. I mean, just last night, I seen that there was another house in Loss County that was lost. My heart goes out to that family. Mm-hmm. I wish I could say that, I wish I could say that, that never happens, but the truth and reality is it happens all the time.
So I think Brandon, our 2-year-old, I think he had, the first couple of nights he had some like sleeping aversions. He stayed up for almost 48 hours straight, and I think he was scared to fall asleep. And then the other 3 children, the first night, Saturday night, was pretty rough. They had a hard time sleeping, but after that, they bounced back pretty quick. Myself, I have trouble sleeping. Every hour or so, I'm up checking the house that we're staying in, and making sure everything's okay, checking on the kids, checking him, making sure everybody's okay. I even, we're staying with my grandparents right now, and I even went into their bedroom to make sure that they were okay a couple nights ago. And I accidentally woke them up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just checking on you." So, but it's a pretty rough adjustment. I mean, obviously, anybody that has ever gone through this um, understands, and then even people that have never gone through it are sympathizing and trying to understand what we could be potentially going through, like mentally and emotionally as well. We've had an extremely blessed outpour of love and support, and prayers and everything like that, from not just our family and friends, but the community. And I mean, even towns that aren't in Wise County have come to our aid and everything. And we've gotten so many messages about, I can't, people saying, I can't really offer anything except for my prayers. And I'm like, that's good enough. That's all we need right now. I mean, we just need people to keep praying that, everything works out the way it should, and, put it all in his hands.
They've helped us with clothes. I mean, that was probably the number one thing that we started seeing really quick. And you don't really think much about clothes. I mean, everybody has clothes, but whenever you don't have anything, I mean, whenever I went outside the house, I was in pajama pants. That's it. I didn't have no socks, didn't have no shoes, didn't have a shirt or anything. So my neighbor that we went and knocked on his door gave me his jacket, threw his jacket on me, you know. So when we got to my wife's grandparents' house, I literally just had sweatpants and my neighbor's jacket that he, let me use. Like that's it. I mean, so whenever we started receiving, donations of clothes, I mean, it really helped not only our spirits but our kids as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've had, not only the clothes, but we've had toys donated for the kids, books, coloring books. We've had a little bit of furniture to like help us whenever we get a place to stay. We've had, some monetary donations as well. My best friend, as soon as she found out about it at 6:00 that morning, she got on there and she created that GoFundMe account. I mean, she was like, this is the only thing I can do to help you other than pray for y'all. And so is it okay if I do this? And I was like, if that's what you feel you need to do in order to help, then go for it. Like, I'm not gonna make anybody feel bad for helping us. I'm not gonna tell them, no, you're not allowed to help us. So we've had that, and we've had some gift cards donated for like Walmart for clothes that we don't get, or groceries, and stuff like that. Another friend of mine started a meal train for us with her church.
One of our close family friends actually paid a locksmith to come and make keys for our truck because we lost one, and he did that. I mean, that was a huge blessing. I mean, we're sitting there at her grandparents' house, and my mom and dad was still at our
land, our property.
Yeah. And he was, my dad's texting me, hey, this individual's making some, getting some keys made to the truck so we can bring out the truck. And I mean, I can't tell you how much that helped. I mean,
yeah.
Granted,
we lost my SUV completely. And then we found out yesterday morning, actually, that our truck that we had some significant damage to it as well, and it gave out. And so now we're having to, we don't have a vehicle anymore, so we're having to we're having to rely on other people to allow us to use their vehicles whenever we need it. And so, I mean, it's really rough. I mean, you know, you hear people say, I lost everything, and then you don't realize the weight of that until it happens to you. And, you know, I mean, I'm just, I'm so grateful for everything that everybody has done for us, and what they will continue to do for us, you know, in the near future and everything. I mean, like he was saying, his parents, they got up at 4:30 that morning, and I don't think they went to bed until well after midnight that night, because they were doing stuff to help us. And, you know, I mean, it's just everybody's been so great. We are at the place where we got our bed a few months ago to see if the warranty that we had on our bed is covered, you know, if it covers this. So hopefully we can have a bed.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
So, I mean, we've had beds donated for all of our kids and everything, but, you know, we haven't had one for us because, I mean, Nathan is over 6 foot tall, so we have to have a pretty good sized bed or he doesn't fit on it. So, you know, that's what we're doing right now. So we are in a vehicle that, you know, somebody has let us use for today. And we're staying with my grandparents for now. We did find a house to rent in our same community in Alvord. And so hopefully we'll be able to start moving in today, and we get the keys today. So hopefully we'll be able to move in and be staying there in the next couple of weeks. With everything going on, my news feed on Facebook has just been blown up with, you know, the news articles about it and other people like sharing it. And I don't think I've seen anything not related to what we've gone through in the last week. And it's all like, please pray for this family. And it's people we don't even know, you know, like, please pray for this family. You know, I don't know them and they don't know me, but I want to, you know, get this out there so that the people that I do know can, you know, either help them in what way they can, or they can at least pray for them. I mean, you know, like I've said numerous times, if it wasn't for our 2-year-old, we wouldn't be here.
Nope. And really, by the grace of God, I mean, you know, to think that a 2-year-old wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and comes in there and wakes us up, I mean,
Yeah,
is nothing short of a miracle, in my opinion.
exactly.
I mean, he could have easily just crawled into bed with us and went back to sleep because he was scared. We wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Right.
You know, I mean, we just got over COVID. I can't smell.
Yeah,
I
we
still
couldn't-
can't smell anything.
Right. We couldn't smell
You know?
anything. So we couldn't smell the smoke, even going out, you know, with so much smoke and everything.
I mean, we had all new, less than a year old, smoke alarms in our house.
And they never,
none of them went off.
They didn't go off until after the house was fully engulfed. And then we were standing on our neighbor's porch and we could hear them going, wee, wee, you know, and I'm like, oh, thanks, you know, a little late there.
So, I mean, I'm beyond blessed by God for us still, you know, to be here.
Yeah.
He saved our family. No shadow of a doubt, in my opinion.
Definitely. Brandon definitely had a guardian angel help him get out of that living room. You know, my family is a big believer of, you know, when a loved one passes, they still help out their family that's still here on earth, you know. And the very first thing that my grandmother said is, you know, her mother passed away in 2019, and she's actually the one that told me to get a pregnancy test because I was pregnant. And you know, I found out while, you know, a couple of days before she passed that I was pregnant with Brandon. And my grandmother, she said, you know, your great grandmother was the one that got him out of there. You know, she picked him up and she carried him into y'all's room. So, and she shielded him to make sure he did not get hurt, so that he could be here to tell the story, you know, and he saved our entire family. I mean, he is our little mini hero, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like he said, it's honestly nothing short of a miracle, an absolute miracle.
I've really drilled our kids on, this is what's going to happen. This is what y'all need to do in case of a fire.
Mm-hmm.
We had a plan. we've had a plan. This is how everything's going to go. Whenever we tell you, if we wake you up one night and we say, hey, we got to go, you don't grab anything. You don't do any, don't worry about anything. Your response should be out of the house and go over to our neighbor's house, straight in front of our house.
I mean, we've told them when making these plans and, everything with them. I mean, we even practice, a few times, like, hey guys, we're going to practice getting out of the house in case it's on fire. And, we tell them, you need to worry about yourself. We as parents will worry about everything else, and so when it happened, I mean, I think our children did absolutely amazing to do what they were supposed to do and to get out in an extremely timely manner, because it was just seconds. We had seconds, and I think our children really stepped up and they did what they had to do in order to, help us relieve a little bit of that anxiety, and everything, but as well as they stayed calm enough to where we were able to safely get out, so.
I mean, if one of our kids, would have been trapped or something, wouldn't have left without them.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
one or both of us would have been in there getting them, I mean,
so. And being a firefighter, our main code is, 2 people goes in, you don't leave nobody behind. That's what's drilled into us, so there ain't no way in the world I'm going to leave one of my kids behind.
Exactly.
No matter what.
The best advice that I could personally give for somebody that, if God forbid somebody else were to have to go through this, worry about your life. Like, everything else can be replaced, but your life can't, I mean, it's not like you can't go out there and buy new clothes, or it's not like you can't go out there and replace your car or replace your laptop or your TV that you got, or whatever. But you cannot replace your life. No matter what you do, you cannot. That is one thing you will never be able to replace. And I've heard stories of people like, oh my gosh, I have to go back in there and get, this or get that or get this or get that. No, like, I understand you love your materialistic items, but your life is more important. And we've really come to understand that, because I mean, I can say with most, a lot of people out there, I'm sure can say they've taken life for granted at one point or another, they've lived recklessly or, whatever. And I can say without for me anyways, I'll definitely have a different outlook. I definitely have a different outlook on life now.
Yes, we lost our house, but you know what? They saved a lot more than what we lost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever we got to our neighbor's house, I'm staying on their porch. I'm crying at this point, but I'm getting hit by debris that's on fire, and it's blowing up on their wooden porch. And I mean, I literally went to Kayla, who was on the phone with 911, and I told him, look, we're about to have more than one structure fire. My emotions were getting the best of me that night or that morning, of course, but at the same time, I was thinking, we could lose 2 to 3 houses here fairly quick. I mean, so I'm really, really thankful for those other departments that came to, not only our aid, but our neighbors' aid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, they saved their houses. So, I can't thank those other departments enough. Mm-hmm. And the personnel that, came to help to aid us.
We've been calling him our hero baby, or our baby hero. I don't know how he was able to do what he did, and I mean, we're honestly just chalking it up to the fact that God said, I'm not done with y'all. Y'all have more time right here with, everybody. So I'm not finished with you all. So we're going to get y'all out. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this on, you know, we're going to have your 2-year-old save y'all so that you have something to tell him when he's older. You know, you saved us, buddy. Like, you're our hero, you know? And, I mean, I think he understands that he was the hero because he gets whatever he wants now.
I cannot tell you how many times I've cried. I mean, just I was up at the station whenever my captain was there for donations, and a guy come up to me and made a donation to us, and I can stop myself from crying. I mean, it's really helped us. I mean, I've gone back to work, obviously, and just know we have that kind of support, and people around us to help us has really helped me be able to go back to work. I mean, just having the peace of mind that people are out there trying to help us. I mean, I know my wife's had numerous text messages and phone calls from people reaching out to, make sure we're okay. So, in my absence at work, just the peace of mind knowing that there are people out there just checking on her, has really helped, me a lot.
And
So,
I mean, I can probably speak for both of us whenever I say this. When this all happened Saturday morning, sorry, we definitely did not expect even half of this. Obviously something like this happens, you're not sitting there thinking, oh, we're going to be in the newspaper, or, we're going to be on the news, or, oh, we're going to have 500 people donating clothes, to us, or we're going to have people donating money, or furniture and stuff like that. I mean, you don't sit there and expect something like that. It has been 100% completely unexpected, but very, very, very grateful for everybody and everything that, I mean, yes, we lost our house. We lost both of our vehicles, but we have our lives.